for this to be over so long ago. And now that it's finally here, it's like a dream come true. Like I was like the training every day, you sacrificing your family, you sacrificing your body, you sacrificing so much just for one fight. You thinking about one man for several months. That's all in your head. That's all you look at. Every day you wake up, you don't want to get up. I don't, I'm a type of person in my daily life. I get up like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I love my sleep. I got a very comfortable bed, and it's hard to get up. But I love the sport.
Deontay straight back. Heck of a fight tonight. The first.
Let's talk for a minute. We got to talk about what's next for the heavyweight division, because there's been an unofficial tournament going on if you haven't noticed or if you don't know about it. For example, one of these guys was supposed to eliminate each other tonight. Anthony Joshua eliminated Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin was somehow still in his unofficial tournament after, the drug testing shit with Deontay. Well, I know the true details. And in my opinion, he had fair ground to be cleared. Luis Ortiz was eliminated, but somehow now kind of on the outskirts of it, he was eliminated by Wilder. Gerald Big Baby Miller is trying to get up in there, but you got guys like Fresno Quindo, because of a court order, still in the mix for a WBA shot. Manuel Char still is a WBA champion after failing a drug test because the WBA is scared to get sued. You have Don King fighter Trevor Bryan, who's the WBA interim champion. These are all heavyweights, by the way. The reason why those guys matter is because Big Baby Miller's going the WBA route, and they're really trying to force their hands onto that WBA world title. Now, I know this may sound like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. The point I'm trying to make is this. The heavyweight division is really alive, and right now, both of these guys' careers, or in regards to being in this tournament and marketability, has been extended, if not increased. Because if Wilder now goes over to the UK for the rematch is definitely going to be bigger than this fight. However, what are these pay-per-view buys going to do over here? And the undercard's got to definitely be so much better. For $75 in this day and age, if you don't know how it works, the reason why it was $75 here in the States is because the broadcaster, not the network, but here, for example, I purchased the fight on Comcast Xfinity. Over in the UK, y'all have like Virgin, Skybox. Nonetheless, y'all pay-per-views are cheaper over there. But over here in the States, the broadcaster takes 50% or so, give or take. The network Showtime takes 10%. So here's some math. If this fight at $74.99 was to do 300,000 pay-per-view buys, that's about, give or take, $23 million. Take away half of that, what do you have? About $11 million or so that's going to have to go to the fighters. Oh, wait, Showtime has to take 10%. So therefore, you have about $9 or $10 million that has to go to the fighters if the fight does 300,000 pay-per-view buys. But they're guaranteed a certain amount. For example, how much was Wilder guaranteed? $5 million and Fury 3 or something like that. So both of these fighters, if it does 300,000, can make about 10 mil. No, actually, because you have to count the fact that the fight, in my opinion, is more popular over in the UK than it is over here, outside of it being extra late over there for you guys to purchase it. Because of Tyson Fury and because of Deontay Wilder and how both of these fighters are linked to your number one fighter, the number one most marketable heavyweight in the world, Anthony Joshua. That makes sense, right? That makes sense, right? So with that math, ticket sales over here in the States, we might as well just scratch them off. They didn't do well. Or didn't look like they did well. Notice they didn't announce this was a sellout and all that shit. However, it was a nice, solid crowd. The reason why the tickets didn't do well, in my opinion, was because of the venue. For example, the fight should have been in New York, but they didn't secure New York in time because why? Tonight, Michelle Obama had a book something for her book. They didn't think her book was supposed to be that big, but it was. So they lost out on the Barclays Center. Vegas, I forgot what happened with that. They settled on LA. The rematch, I think they're going to do it right. It has to be overseas. But here's the thing. It's a lot of ways Wilder can go. Because I don't think that the WBC is going to strip him. Also, the fact that he and Dominic Breazeale are under Al Heyman. Al Heyman can keep Dominic Breazeale at bay, hopefully with some money, unless Dominic Breazeale forces the issue, or Dylan White can force the issue, and Eddie Hearn. So, follow what I'm saying. Deontay Wilder has no reason to not fight his mandatory Dominic Breazeale. People may say, okay, well, they may want to dial him back a bit because he was supposed to lose tonight. So maybe he should go fight Dominic Breazeale, work on some shit, and then fight a voluntary, then go back after AJ or whatever, build his name back up. Treat this fight like a loss, even though he's still the champion. But if he chooses to fight Tyson Fury in a rematch, they could order Dylan White versus Dominic Breazeale for the WBC interim. The WBC does not want to strip Deontay Wilder, I'm sure of it. They say, hey, listen, fight for the interim. Remember, Breazeale and Severn was supposed to fight for the interim. Now, I'm just going through boxing politics for you just so you can know what's possibly going to be next. Because if you follow the heavyweight division and you know the landscape of the promoters and the fighters and how much they make and who's going to deal with what, then you have a pretty good understanding that it's hard to see Joshua next unless, both of these sides to say, hey, listen, let's get it done. Do you think that Joshua could be looking or watch the fight or is watching the fight right now? Because it's hard to believe that he didn't or won't watch the fight, especially since the main event didn't come on until about 4 a.m. Or actually, it didn't end until about 5 or so a.m. your time, right over in the UK. So boxers are usually up early as shit. But AJ didn't say he won't watch. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure he watched it. If he didn't say it, but I'm sure he watched it. But the point is, do you think that Eddie Hearn and him got on the phone this morning and was like, yo, you see that? What you think? Like, yo, I can beat Wilder. We should get him now. But Fury, let's try to freeze him out. Do you think maybe, some shit like could be going on? Maybe they probably will offer Wilder some more money. Because in a way, because of those two knockdowns, it's crazy how boxing works. Because of those two knockdowns, he should have lost the fight. The fight was a draw, but people not really like they're more concerned from testing the temperatures on social media. They're more concerned and more like, yo, Tyson Fury is good and shit. They're not really bashing Deontay Wilder. Now, if it was Deontay Wilder that got the decision, then it would have been different. So I'm guessing, I feel like this. It seems as though maybe, just off of right now, even though, I've been stuck at this computer screen for the motherfucking goddamn last 3-4 hours or some shit, I don't even know. Does it seem like Deontay Wilder's stock has went up a little bit tonight? Or is it just me? I'm on some other shit. Maybe I need to fucking go take a walk and get out in the real world and have a life or some shit. I don't know. That crowd seemed happy as shit. I don't know. It seems as though it seems as though a lot of people it seems like a lot more people may know who he is. Even if it's kind of word of mouth kind of a little bit. It is very reminiscent of the Canelo Golovkin saga, which is kind of pissing me off. His stock shot up. I wouldn't say shot. I would shot up. We got to see those numbers though. This had the real feel of a real super fight. People was talking shit yesterday and the day before and shit. Bro, you're biased. I understand why it's cool, but you're dumb. Hey, fuck you, Jesse. But, oh, wait, was you talking to me, Jesse? If you wasn't, then I apologize. If you were, fuck you. It doesn't matter. AJ stock is way up. Okay, all right. Yeah, we know AJ. Okay, all right. Fury benefits because he's younger. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. The Fury showboat may have cost him, but it also, yeah. It raised the entertainment factor of the fight because he did it worked. But Also, it did cost him, and he was ducking too low when he got that first knockdown in round 9. Like, he should have stayed on his bike, right? I understand he wanted to prove that he can hang with supposedly the biggest puncher in boxing, but that shit cost him. You know? If a rematch doesn't happen straight away, then I don't think it happens. I don't think so either.